Africa is the future, and the UK has a huge and active role to play.
United Kingdom foresees better role in Africa as first UK-Africa Investment Summit opens in London.
The well-conducted elections were all affirmed and reaffirmed by the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court upholds elections of 4 state governors. Correspondent examines the issue of pipeline vandalism as the NNPC boss visits scene of explosion.
You get sincere and committed to the cause of moving Nigeria forward in line with Mr. President's vision.
Unremitted budgets investigations, House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee thumbs up the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. Good evening, thanks for joining us on the network service of the NTA. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Reading with me tonight in our Enugu Network Center is Mina Ukobasi. With Africa widely acknowledged as the global future, given its vast potentials for economic prosperity, the United Kingdom says it is better positioned to play a huge and active role in that future. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson gave this assurance at the opening of the first ever United Kingdom Africa Investment Summit in London. President Muhammadu Buhari led Nigeria's delegation to the summit, also attended by dozens of African and British leaders. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the report.
Labeled as a major milestone in international relations, the UK-Africa Investment Summit provides an opportunity for exchange of ideas, equipment and finance towards forging partnerships that can massively create jobs, enrich lives and build relationships of mutual prosperity. Addressing participants comprising heads of state and government, business leaders, investors and entrepreneurs, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson made a case for the UK as the investment partner of choice for African countries. The United Kingdom, he said, has unique expertise and innovation in technology, clean growth, infrastructure and finance capable of feeding the continent's demand for sustainable growth.
Africa is the future, and the UK has a huge and active role to play in that future. We want to be with you side by side every step of the way. So let's seize the opportunities that are before us here today. Let's build the partnership for the future. And together, let us write the next chapter for my country, for your country, and above all, for all the peoples of our countries.
Prime Minister Johnson, however, used the forum to announce an end to UK support for thermal coal mining or coal power plants overseas, but a wider commitment towards helping Africa's transition away from fossil fuels towards renewable and sustainable forms of clean energy.
Lolade and her team make the local streets cleaner and the global environment greener. They've created 3,000 jobs in Nigeria, the vast majority of them for women. They help keep the order books full for British manufacturers, and the whole operation provides a tidy return for investors both in Nigeria and in the UK. And it's a great example of what the modern UK-Africa partnership looks like.
During the summit, £6.5 billion worth of commercial deals have been announced between British and African firms, while setting aside nearly £1 billion in aid for Africa's growth and development in critical economic sectors.
Nigeria is a huge marketplace, and
labeled as a major milestone in international relations, the UK-Africa Investment Summit provides an opportunity for exchange of ideas, equipment and finance towards forging partnerships that can massively create jobs, enrich lives and build relationships of mutual prosperity. Addressing participants comprising heads of state and government, business leaders, investors and entrepreneurs, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson made a case for the UK of the highly beneficial linkages between the United Kingdom and African nations towards generating greater development outcomes. From London, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is weighing African leaders on the need for partnership with the United Kingdom and becoming the continent's investment partner of choice. The Prime Minister wants to recruit British investors to invest in Africa, complementing a drive to repurpose the overseas and aid budget and trade. In this report, Musa Baba Aliu takes a look at Africa, the British request, and the way forward.
Britain has successfully crossed all the hurdles towards her movement out of the European Union. This means that UK government is free to seek partnership with any country without adhering to the European Union guidelines. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, while searching for new business partners for his country, Africa was the first to come to mind. British investment in Africa has been slowing in recent times, but now Boris Johnson is optimistic that with the big market opportunity in Africa, both Britain and the African continent will have their economy boosted. Johnson was quoted saying, "Africa is the future and the UK has a huge and active role to play in that future." End of quote.
UK has what Africa needs, and Africa certainly has what UK needs. We need the partnership to make it possible for the AfCFTA to work effectively.
Analysts identified what they described as lucrative areas that the two parties can benefit from, which include agriculture, infrastructure, health, education, automobile, telecommunication, and transportation.
How do African leaders take advantage of this opportunity? Because it has to be a two-way thing. Because investment is more like marriage. So it's going to be marriage of it has to be convenient for each and every one of us. So they are coming to you, they need you now, so the best thing for you to negotiate well and then get the best out of it.
For Nigeria, which has a long bilateral and trade relationship with the UK, there is the hope that some of the constraints in transacting business with the EU, which include blocking export of agricultural produce to the member countries, will be addressed with the UK. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Issues relating to environmental preservation and sustainability for job and economic prosperity dominated discussions as Charles, the Prince of Wales, received the President Muhammadu Buhari in Scotland. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo again reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari was in Scotland on a special invitation of the Prince of Wales and heir apparent to the throne of the British monarchy, Prince Charles Arthur George. Simply put, it was a befitting reciprocal honor as the Prince of Wales and his wife were hosted in Abuja by the Nigerian leader in November 2018. During the closed-door engagement that lasted 1.5 hours, President Muhammadu Buhari and Prince Charles deliberated extensively on climate change, its devastating consequences on the environment, and sustainable responsive measures.
The major takeaway is essentially that the Prince is now committed to helping to, first of all, get experts into Nigeria to assist in certain areas such as reforestation, which is a priority for us, and also ultimately helping mobilizing investors. The strategy that the Prince really emphasized was the possibility of bringing together huge investors. He talked about having the largest pool or conglomerate of investors ever in the world who would be able to carry out actions that will be, friendly to the environment, but as I said, in a sustainable way.
Challenges associated with the receding lake chart, the farmers' herders crisis, and other environmental issues confronting Nigeria were critically analyzed and suggestions made on the best way forward. President Buhari and the Prince of Wales also discussed the role the Commonwealth can play towards mitigating the impact of climate change on member nations.
The Prince of Wales, as you know, he is now the head of the Commonwealth, and the next summit of the Commonwealth will be in Kigali in Rwanda in the middle of the year, and looking at very concrete strategies to start addressing, some of these environmental challenges, and the possibility of setting up specialist councils of countries that would provide skilled resources addressing different aspects of preserving the environment, but preserving it, as I said, in a sustainable way. It does not have to be an endeavor that just drains countries of financial resources.
Others on President Buhari's entourage to Scotland include Nigeria's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom and his Chief of Staff, Bakari. From Glasgow, Scotland, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Still on the UK-Africa Summit, Nigeria and the United Kingdom have resolved to increase the level of economic cooperation between the two countries following the exit of Britain from the European Union. This was at the outcome of a high-level engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on the sidelines of the UK-Africa Investment Summit in London. Sena's correspondent Adam Osambo again reports that the president also received in audience the Ghanaian leader Nana Akufo-Addo. He said the two leaders discussed issues relating to Nigeria's closure of its border.
At the interactive engagement held behind closed doors, both President Muhammadu Buhari and Prime Minister Boris Johnson expressed worry that the level of cooperation between their countries is nowhere near as high as it should be. The post-Brexit era, they say, provides a great opportunity for increased cooperation not only amongst the two countries but across the Commonwealth member nations.
Mr. President talked about the possibility of Commonwealth Free Trade Agreement, and that would be something that would also be a very important and significant step forward. The Prime Minister talked about the importance of other big countries signing on to that. He said he completely agreed with Mr. President's suggestion about a possible, Commonwealth Free Trade Agreement, and the importance of maybe also engaging with other bigger Commonwealth countries to make that come about.
Discussions also centered on the issue of governance, especially the renewed onslaught against corruption in Nigeria.
The Prime Minister was understanding of the challenges, importance of good governance, and it was pointed out that the ongoing legal proceedings and with some Nigerians who are residing in the United Kingdom, and the Prime Minister was also very supportive in that sense. In other words, that the UK would do everything to make it possible for repatriation or restitution of stolen assets here in the United Kingdom. So they were very much a meeting of minds between the two of them, and they were both very enthusiastic about what the future really offers.
President Buhari used the opportunity to express Nigeria's appreciation to Britain for its significant support to the military in the fight against terrorism and insurgency. President Buhari also received in audience his Ghanaian counterpart Nana Akufo-Addo, where he explained that a partial border closure is not caused solely by rice smuggling, but also because arms and ammunition as well as hard drugs were being ferried into Nigeria. The president said he will not keep his eyes open and watch youths being destroyed through cheap hard drugs and compromise security caused by unbridled influx of small arms. President Akufo-Addo, while showing understanding of the need for Nigeria to protect her citizens, pleaded for an expedited process because, as he said, the Nigerian market is significant for certain categories of business people in Ghana.
There's some what you might call collateral damage to Ghana in respect of the border closure. So there have been a large number of trucks coming from Ghana stuck at the Nigerian border. And of course, this is a cause of great concern to the Ghanaians and causing also economic loss to certain sectors in Ghana. So it was really a question of trying to see how this could be addressed on the one hand, and also the timelines before an eventual border opening. There has been talk in the past of a corridor, a special corridor, to allow legitimate goods coming from Ghana. And so this is something that Mr. President said that he will revisit with the relevant officials, the possibility of this.
On the time frame for reopening the borders, President Buhari said it will not happen till the final report of a committee set up on the matter is submitted and considered. From London, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Time now to go for some messages. We'll be right back.
Plenty people don't they win plenty prizes anyhow.
My own done better because I will get Mara. I'm very happy, Claude. Thank you.
This machine is going to be beautiful for me. I'm going to give it to my babe. She's a fashion designer, so my life done better. The grinding machine where I win, I can carry my wife will be a vendor. To help and well. A better thing will glow do for me, I tell you.
Not long ago, I promised my wife to get her a sewing machine.
I didn't see it coming. I thank God and I thank Lord for blessing me today.
Abeg, TRS go recharge with 200 naira today. Make you say following ogbonge prices like keke napep, grinding machine, generator and industrial sewing machine. No day for river make soap the entire aisle.
Glow Unlimited.
Think about them. No be only cloth this sewing machine they make. If you put food for your table and roof over person head, can you go ogbonge fashion show around the world? Find the cocoa inside every story. Go bbc.com/pidgin to see more of your world.
You can choose to manage everything else, but not your data. Get more out of life with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# today. Data is life.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi A. Sule, Governor, the government and people of Nasarawa State, heartily welcome governors of states in the North Central Geopolitical Zone, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja, members of the National Assembly from the zone, the Inspector General of Police, security chiefs and stakeholders to the North Central Nigeria Police Regional Security Summit with the theme Strategic Partnership for Effective Community Policing in the North Central Zone and FCT, to be hosted by the Nasarawa State Government. Guest speaker at the occasion is Professor Habu Galadima, Director General, National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru, Jos. The event is to hold at the Taal Conference Hotel along Jos Road, Lafayette, Nasarawa State on Wednesday, 22nd January 2020 by 11 a.m. All invited guests are to be seated by 10:30 a.m. Announcer Tijani Aliyu Ahmed, Secretary to Government of Nasarawa State.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, and the Minister of Aviation, Senator Adi Sirika, invite stakeholders in the aviation, transportation, agriculture, water resources management, oil and gas, health, construction, telecommunications, and others in the public sector to the public presentation of the 2020 seasonal rainfall prediction. Theme: the role of climate information for decision making in a changing climate. Date 21st January 2020. Venue NAF Conference Center, Gwarimpa Expressway, Kado, Abuja. Time 10:30 a.m. Professor Sani Abubakar Mashi, DG and CEO, Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET. Announcer.
This is beautiful.
Quality is vital. Quality is Vitafoam.
Hello, honey.
Hey, baby.
Wow. Those guys are good in bed.
What? Yes, we're good in bed. Hurry now to any Vitafoam accredited dealer nationwide or visit us online on www.vitafoamng.com to place your order today. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
This na how we dey show for holiday. This na how e dey be when you don tey you block male. This one pass decoder. This na your family groove. Totori your family this season. Go sharply arrange Go TV decoder and Go Tenor wey carry 1 month Go TV Max subscription follow body for only 6,900 naira. Go TV. Live it, love it.
Thank you for remaining with the NTA. The Supreme Court has affirmed the election of 4 state governors. The panel of justices, led by Justice Sylvester Nguta, gave the verdicts in the 4 appeals determined this Monday in Abuja. Vera Chumuba has the report.
The 5-man panel of justices, led by Justice Sylvester Nguta, gave the verdict this Monday. The Apex Court said the appellants in the matter failed to prove the allegations on the conduct of the March 9, 2019 governorship election, which resulted in a rerun. The court maintained that since the appellants failed to prove their case, it has no option than to dismiss the appeals and the cross-appeal in the Kano matter for lacking in merit. The Sokoto State governorship appeal was filed by APC and its candidate Ahmed Aliyu, challenging Aminu Tambawa of PDP. The court dismissed the appeal on the grounds that the appellant failed to prove the allegation of non-compliance with the Electoral Act and issues of overvoting. Counsel to PDP Adeboyega Womolo had alleged that the state returning officer cancelled results in 207 polling units and declared the election inconclusive and rescheduled the election for 23rd of March. INEC counsel Ahmed Raji had said it was not correct to say that the returning officer cancelled some votes as the evidence laid did not prove any cancellation. Mr. Duru Gandejo's counsel in his submission has said that the appellant premise does not contain the result of 44 local governments that make up Kano, contrary to his assertion. For that reason, the returning officer could not have declared a winner. Counsel to APC Alex Zion also told the court that allowing the appeal would mean giving credit to violation of electoral law and upholding violence. The governor of Kano State scored a total of 1,033,095 votes to defeat his closest rival, Abba Yusuf, who got 1,024,713 votes. In the Plateau State matter, the appellant Jeremiah Oseni, who was the candidate of PDP in the governorship election, which dovetailed into a rerun, alleged that the election, which brought in the incumbent governor Simon Lalong into office for the second term, was marred with irregularities. After the deliberations and adoption of final addresses by all the councils in the Plateau State matter, the 7-man panel of justices, led by Justice Sylvester Nguta, in a unanimous judgment, dismissed the appeal for lacking in merit. The Apex Court affirmed the election of Simon Lalong as the duly elected governor of Plateau State. The same panel adjudicated on the Bauchi State governorship election. The appellant, who is the immediate past governor of Bauchi State, Mohammed Abdullahi Abubakar, pleaded with the court to declare him winner of the governorship election or order a rerun. In his judgment, the Apex Court dismissed the appeal for lacking in merit and upheld the election of Bala Mohammed as the governor of Bauchi State.
And the well-conducted elections were all affirmed and reaffirmed by the Supreme Court. We are grateful to them.
We won at the polls, we won at the election tribunal, we won at the Court of Appeal, and now we have also won at the Supreme Court.
With this judgment, it has rekindled my confidence in the judiciary. I've always said the judiciary is the last hope of the common man, and the judiciary has exhibited that today.
That the people of Bauchi who have voted for me unanimously across party lines, I will make sure I will take them on that basis, to consider them without any differences, to make sure that I give them good governance.
After the judgment, it was jubilation galore for the supporters of the litigants within the Spring Court complex. In Abuja, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated his party, the All Progressives Congress, APC, for victory at the Supreme Court that upheld the elections of Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, Kano State, and Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, stated that President Buhari felicitates with APC National Executive Council, National Working Committee, and all members for the loyalty and consistency that translated into many victories, particularly the politically strategic states, Kano and Plateau, after tough legal challenges. While congratulating all the APC governors that the Supreme Court affirmed their elections, the President urges electorate and politicians to strengthen the country's judicial processes by always seeking redress in court. Meanwhile, Mayor Ogidi in this report compiled the mood of the residents in the 4 states on the Supreme Court judgment.
An extraordinary moment of celebration for the people of Sokoto, Kano, Plateau, and Bauchi states. The Supreme Court fever is over. Mandate of all the 4 incumbent governors affirmed.
This victory, it came from Almighty Allah, and we have to be thankful of that.
It's an important milestone for the people of Kano.
Though celebrations basically on political chasm, collapsing of fence for the building of greater state is one common thread that runs through the reactions of the victorious chief executives.
We have important programs for development, which we need the cooperation of everybody. Those who belong to the opposition, we are appealing to them to come together with us. We are all products of democracy.
Court cases over, minds less busy to continue with the business of governance in their respective states. Mayor Ogidi, NTA News.
Well, from that celebratory mood, we're back to the studio where a legal practitioner, Ibrahim Bawa, senior advocate of Nigeria, is joining me to discuss the mood and the judgment. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How significant will you describe these judgments?
Now, when you look at our electoral process, the most important aspect of it is the fact that any person who is aggrieved with the process has a way of ventilating that grievance. And it is that ventilation that makes it easy for the process to be fully articulated. Now, when you go to court and the court makes a pronouncement, it gladdens your heart. You may not like the judgment, but at least you had a way of venting your grievance. And that is the best that has happened today to the states that had their cases determined.
Venting their grievance, that is on the case of the governors, or if you like, the defendants now.
Yeah.
What of in the case of the polity? What will you say is the impact of this to the polity?
The impact on the polity is the fact that all those concerned, particularly the winners of the elections, now have peace of mind to settle down and to administer governance. Where you have cases hanging on you, you are not so sure of what will happen at the end of the day. Today is the last stage of the litigation process. Those states can now concentrate. The governors in those states can now sit down and do what is needed of them to give the dividends of democracy to their states. For them, it is fine victory.
Will you say the judiciary is again coming to the rescue of the democracy?
At all times, I have always said that the judiciary has always come to the rescue of democracy. When you look at the pre-election process, where contestants within political parties slug it out as to who will be the winner, at the end of the day, the matter goes back to the courts, and the courts determine who is the rightful candidate. At that stage, the political parties now have certainty of who they are sponsoring. So the common man at that stage is happy that their votes at the stage of primaries were given some say by the courts. And at the final stage where elections are conducted, if it is National Assembly where it terminates at the Court of Appeal, the Court of Appeal in those stages of the election also say who is the rightful winner of election. So the common man has one thing or the other to jubilate over, that the courts have pronounced as to who is the winner.
And democracy is being strengthened.
And the democracy is strengthened by the process.
Mr. Ibrahim Bawa, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, thank you for your thoughts. We will stop it there and continue with other issues. In other news, the Federal High Court, Abuja, has dismissed a suit seeking the disqualification of Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello from the 2019 Kogi governorship election on alleged double registration as a voter. Justice Ian Eko held that the plaintiff lacked jurisdiction to file the suit. Olabode Arewa reports.
The plaintiff, Natasha Akpoti, was the governorship candidate of the Social Democratic Party in the November 29 Kogi election. She alleged that on 23rd of May 2017, Yahaya Bello registered as a voter in Lokoja, having also registered in Abuja in 2011. The court, taking into consideration Section 24 and Section 81 of the Electoral Act of 2010, said it was clear that the plaintiff, Natasha Akpoti, was not a prosecuting authority. Therefore, she lacked jurisdiction to institute the suit.
The court said by virtue of the fact that the section speaks on criminal issues, you as an individual without a fiat of a prosecuting body cannot file action or civil action to claim that one be punished under the law.
Counsel to Natasha Akpoti declined to speak on the matter. The APC, INEC, and Governor Yahya Bello were joined in the suit as defendants. In Abuja, Labodarewa, NTA News.
5 persons have been confirmed dead, and several others are nursing varying degrees of injuries, while 11 houses and 33 container trucks and other property worth several millions of naira were destroyed following a pipeline explosion at the Ile-Epo area of Abulegba in Lagos. The incident was said to have started at about 8 on Sunday evening after vandals attempted to siphon products from the pipeline. Tunde Shaiki has more.
The vandals were said to have attacked the pipeline few minutes after 7 o'clock in the evening on Sunday. The carelessness of these vandals left the product to spill, thereby igniting anything it touches. The efforts of emergency responders reduced the severity of destruction as they were able to curtail and localize the fire in record time.
What this portends is danger for all of us. If these incidents had happened under a windy condition yesterday, we would have been talking about thousands of people dying in this place. And more importantly, Nigerians must know that these activities are happening within communities. People are aware of what is happening. If you allow them to continue to do what they are doing, they will kill all of us.
Now it has happened. Somebody somewhere must have seen them when they started doing this, before it got to this level of inferno. So when such thing happens now, you should let us know immediately.
150 people were displaced. We are going to have meetings with their families. We are going to have meetings with the chairman of the local government in here to determine the next level, how we are going to take care of them.
Some residents have their tales of woes.
The vandalizer came around after 7 and nobody saw them, nobody could see anything. And now look at what is going on now. Lives have been destroyed.
Meanwhile, normalcy has returned to the area, but the victims lament their losses and sympathizers have turned the Ile-Epo area of Abulegba to a tourist site since the situation was put under control. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
The act of pipeline vandalism across Nigeria leading to the loss of lives and property is a dangerous phenomenon that keeps recurring. In this report, Lydia Sampson explores why this practice has continued and what must be done to stop it.
That was the scene of a pipeline vandalized by some miscreants. Critical stakeholders say the loss and danger associated with it is becoming one too many. It is not unconnected with the fact that, to some, it seemed profitable to scoop fuel and sell on the black market in their quest to make quick money. These people chose to neglect the fact that it is extremely dangerous, and most times the vandals themselves are burnt to death in the process. This art is not new in Abulegba area in Lagos State, where petroleum product siphoning is taken to another level.
Ideally, when you open a pipe like this, anywhere in Nigeria, is water that flows. But strange as this may be, and unbelievable as it may sound, this is actually petroleum products.
The System 2B of NNPC pipeline is critical to the supply value chain as it supplies petroleum products to Lagos, Oyo, as well as Kwara State and environs. Ironically, the facility continues to be the target of pipeline vandalism, which has remained a thorn in the flesh of critical stakeholders in the oil and gas sector. Only yesterday night, another pipeline vandalized, leading to the fire incident said to have been caused by activities of vandals at the Abulegba axis, thereby sending many persons scampering for safety. The vandals were said to have ruptured the pipeline in a bid to scoop fuel when the explosion took place. The group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Mele Kolokiari, visited the scene of the Abulegba pipeline explosion in Lagos for an on-the-spot assessment.
We are working with the security agents to make sure that we reduce this to the barest minimum. We are also working with, particularly with the Nigerian Navy, the Civil Defense Corps, the Nigerian Police, and all other agencies of agents of security, including the Department of State Service, to contain this to the bare minimum. What this portends is danger for all of us. If these incidents had happened under a windy condition yesterday, we would have been talking about thousands of people dying in this place.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, also lamented the rate at which pipelines are sabotaged in Nigeria, stressing that it rose from 115% in July 2019, with a record number of 228 points vandalized. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The fight against human trafficking is one that has continued to raise concerns globally. In Nigeria, this practice, the federal government is collaborating with Spain in the fight against trafficking of women and girls in the country. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Haji Sadia Umar Farouk, while receiving the former Vice President of Spain, Maria Teresa Fernandez de la Vega, says with the 2015 National Migration Policy and the operations of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, the goal is to ensure the prevention, protection, prosecution of culprits and strengthen established partnerships to end this practice.
As it is, there are ongoing advocacy campaigns against trafficking in our mainstream media. I'm sure you are aware of that. Also, NAPTIP provides shelters to these victims when they are returned home. Areas of social support and empowerment to these returned victims. So these are also areas that we might partner with. So maybe you have started something with NAPTIP in that regard.
The former Vice President of Spain and President Women for Africa Foundation, Maria Teresa Fernandez de la Vega, says her foundation is ready to partner with the ministry by bringing succor to victims of trafficking in Nigeria and fill up all areas of void. In another development, the minister met with Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad Mutawalli, where she pledged to work with the state government as part of efforts towards providing support and lasting solutions to thousands of displaced persons in Zamfara State. We pause for another break now. Stay tuned.
So, you now want to pick my call?
Then bomb me where? Mommy of life. Twilight, mommy.
Where my car?
Mommy, now smart things remain.
If my car not ready for Kokoroku tomorrow, me and you go put leg inside one trouser. Wallahi.
Bros, my phone. Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Look, not at this phone, no.
All right, yes, ma. Hey,
Majekini.
Mommy, don't be you. Don't waste your credit. When I finish, I go call.
You call me. Me wear my middle name na credit. Where Glow they give me boku.
Glow and Mebo get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555* PIN hash.
Just talk people. I beg, give me a phone, make I go, Joe.
Talon so talk yen.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice. And making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent's Triple Protection 1, 2, 3. It's 3 toothpaste in 1 to give them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent's Triple Protection 1, 2, 3.
Are you aware that your perfect family may be under threat by germs? Germs can cause infectious diseases like diarrhea, typhoid, and flu. These infectious diseases are amongst the biggest killers of adults and children. In Nigeria, tens of thousands of children under the age of 5 have died due to diarrhea caused by germs, which could easily have been prevented. These illness-causing germs are everywhere. Dirty surfaces, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes, in unclean bathing water. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 capful. For surface cleaning, for first aid, for your laundry, in your bathing water, and to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
She picked the time, he picked the place. Now their eyes meet. But self-doubt stands between them. Can they break the barrier? With the freshness of antibacterial mouthwash formula in our best ever close-up toothpaste. Break the barrier. Move closer with confidence. Close-up deep action for 12 hours of fresh breath.
Discover the all-new Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Lotion, specially formulated with Nivea's Deep Moisture Serum and Africa's natural cocoa for 48-hour deep moisture. Glowing, radiant skin with Nourishing Cocoa Lotion from Nivea.
Hamatan is here, but we are ready. Get your special Nivea offer in stores today and break up with Hamatan for good.
To the outer framers, the hat tippers, the fringe goers, you don't need to hide anymore. Try Dettol Even Tone. It cleans and helps to reduce the appearance of blemishes caused by oil, dirt, and germs, giving your skin a healthy feel for an even better you.
Introducing the new Dettol Even Tone Pink Glow. Healthy skin feel for an even better you.
This year, the weather conditions Harmattan in Nigeria is harsh, with temperature dropping very low in some parts of the country. Many underprivileged children are exposed to these harsh weather conditions, putting them at risk to all sorts of respiratory infections with devastating consequences. We request well-meaning Nigerians to kindly donate warm clothing, blankets, beverages, soap, moisturizers, and other essential items for the benefit of these children. Get involved to support displaced and underprivileged children exposed to these harsh weather conditions. Powered by Aisha Buhari Foundation.
Channel where you watch just now don't waka. No panic. There's me no panic. You go do it by yourself like ABC. Oh yeah, press the menu button on top your remote. Scroll up and down till you see Information Central. Then press OK. Press OK. Check the signal strength and quality. If the signal strength and quality pass 70, make you press the exit button, go back. Go advanced options, then choose installation, then go to reset and press OK. Press OK.
Wow! Now you sef fit catch all those channels wey be one miss road by yourself. Yeah.
Go to.
And I see as we do
Welcome back. Challenges in smart grid development, resource utilization, balancing available supply to demand, protection and control of electric as well as environmental protection featured prominently at the 11th International Conference on Energy, Power Systems, Operation and Planning in Abuja. Fatima Umar Buba was there and now reports.
The panel. The audience are all experts in power and energy sector, drawn from the academia and research institutes to rub minds and come up with ideas that will address the growing global challenges in the sector and to propel it to valuable path of development.
Now we are talking about smart grids, smart meters. This is the only forum that we can discuss, brainstorm, and come up with something that can help this country and move forward.
The country is growing per day, and people are in need of power, and many are unserved, many are underserved. Okay. And if we're going to have to solve it, we have to come up with new methodology. One of such things is technology such as microgrid, smart grid, which allow you to have access, provide renewable energy-based sources that could be available in almost all the villages.
At the end of the two-day conference, it is expected that innovative regulations, efficient and effective utility planning to close gaps between academics and the industry will improve.
A whole country is standing on how we get it right in the power sector. The only way
Nigeria can be the country of our dream is when we get it right in the power sector.
With the theme, Empowering Microgrids with Smart Grid Attributes Development in the United States and Africa, speakers say the conference would make desired impact in Nigeria and other African countries. Fatima Umarbuba, NTA News.
We now join Mina in our Enugu Center for more on NTA Network News. Hello, Mina.
Hello, Kudu. Good evening and welcome to Enugu. The Army Operation Exercise in the Southeast Zone, tagged Atilogudo 1, which ended on the 7th of this month, recorded tremendous achievements. Chidimma Madu reviews some of the activities of the 82nd Division of the Nigerian Army.
Exercise Atilogudo 1, which was flagged off on the 1st of November 2019 at Abia State, to cover Southeast geopolitical zone, was aimed at fighting against kidnapping, cultism, armed robbery, drug peddlers, secessionist activities, bunkering, and other criminal activities in the southeastern states. During the time in review, a total of 19 civil military cooperation activities were carried out in different sectors across the division's area of responsibility. Since the commencement of the exercise, Crocodile Smile 4 and Atilogudo 1 of the 82nd Division. The conduct of the exercise recorded tremendous achievement at various sectors. 86 criminals were caught and handed over to the police.
Preliminary investigation revealed that the vandals came from Udi, Onitsha, and Enugu. He attempted to bribe the soldiers with the sum of 700,000 naira. But this was resisted by the soldiers.
Many communities in the geopolitical zone also benefited from the free medical outreach and sanitation exercise aimed at winning the hearts and minds of the people to get intelligence information for the exercise.
When I see soldiers, I will just see them as people carrying gun and wearing camouflage. But today, it has been in a different way. They don't protect us alone. They still seek our medical fitness.
So we've not seen such a thing before. So it is great. And the most precious thing about it is the military coming to the civilians to give it.
Although the exercise has come and gone, normal vigilance and all military routine activities within 82 Division's area of responsibility continues. In Enugu, Chidimma Madu, NTA News.
And that's a bit from Enugu. It's back to you, Kudu, for a continuation of the news.
Kumina. The House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee investigating ministries, departments, and agencies on remittance to the Federation account of unspent budgeted funds has commended the management of the Nigerian Television Authority for efficient record keeping on capital expenditure. This followed the submission of the NTA's records of capital expenditure from 2009 to 2019. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The investigation by the House of Representatives is in relation to allegation that MDAs have not accounted for 1 trillion naira of unspent budgeted funds which were appropriated for the execution of capital and zonal intervention projects in the last 10 years. The mandates of the ad hoc committee include ascertaining how much was appropriated for capital and zonal intervention projects, amount released for implementation, and how much was remitted into the Federation accounts at the end of each financial year.
You get sincere and committed to the cause of moving Nigeria forward in line with Mr. President's vision.
NTA was among those that appeared before the committee this Monday, where the Director General, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, intimated the committee that the organization implemented zonal intervention projects in the period under review in 2013, 2014 and 2015, financial records of which were made available to the committee.
The actual amount released was 61,
right,
which was spent,
right,
leaving a balance of 581.05.
Naira.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that 500 and something naira with you or with the Accountant General?
Accountant General.
Thank you.
In 2013 and 2014 and 2015 respectively. So you will see the various sums, amount utilized,
and the variance, the difference that were remitted to the Treasury. So that information is very key and important to us.
Other organizations that appeared before the committee include the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, the Federal Character Commission, the Nigeria Extractive Industry and Transparency Initiative, NATI, and National Institute of Labor Studies.
I want to know if there are ZIPs, that is Zonal Intervention Funds, that have been domiciled within your agency.
The committee resolved to embark on an on-the-spot assessment of projects said to have been executed by the agencies to ascertain such claims, and equally requested for more documents for further scrutiny. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Up ahead are developments in the world of sports after this timeout.
On Tuesday Live this week, the challenges and prospect of vehicle currency and derivable gains of the 2019 finance law is our focus. Tuesday Live at 10:30 p.m. promises to be incisive and informative. Don't miss it.
Maybe say now today or 4 days when my girls won't come visit, and I need to come go expire.
Oh, my guys, they can't follow me watch this match. I must not fall the hand.
Disappoints you, but my subscription don't expire.
The match is not